Shadow Rat looking to close out this game strong. I finally commit my final shield. We are now going to overfarm so we can outpace the Alolan Marowak in the back. They are on Hex. They are energy dry. It's going to take 3 to make the Shadow Bone. We just about outpace, but will this crunch be enough to knock out? Well, you're going to have to watch the video to find out. And I am back loving Kanto Cup. Kanto is the generation I grew up watching, playing the original games on the Game Boy. Shout out Pokemon Blue. What a fucking game that was. Today, we have got one of my favourite strategies, a anti-fighter being my first ever level 50 Pokemon, which is Shadow Grimer with 2 tanks in the back. The tanks of choice are going to be Lapras and Raticate. A pretty unique team, and let's be honest, this team is pretty shit hot, like you're going to see in these battles. And in game 1, we pick up the absolute dream lead. They save switch into Mew, and we are coming in with the big fat rat. The rat, just with quick attack, has absolutely munched through this Mew. It looks like we're running bite, but we absolutely are not. They are going to throw one more surf, and like an absolute noob, I have thrown on a CMP, and they actually go for a wild charge. But the big fat rat doesn't care. We still hold strong. The opponent shields it up, but guess what? We are triple resisting lick. We share the same typing as Obstagoon, so my friend, we make crunch number 2. The opponent double shields, and that is absolutely fine for us. We can now come in with our Lapras and look to go for the Ice Shard farm down. I've already been hit with one wild charge. Let's not get hit with another. We're going to shield up. When Hitmonchan does return, being a shadow, it is super glassy. It is absolutely going to not appreciate this surf. Surf lands near one shots. The Hitmonchan, we come back in to Grimer, and it is Alolan Marowak in the back. This is why I love the little Grimer. There's so many things weak to ground, and we have got that Mud Bomb coverage. First Mud Bomb gets him low. Second Mud Bomb is going to knock out. Get wrecked Marowak. Hitmonchan has nothing to do, and that is a good game. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to battle number 2, we see Mew in the lead. Not a bad matchup. You can see poison jabs are absolutely shredding through us. I'm going to go straight for the Hail Mary. Does the opponent respect the Sludge Bomb? Yes, they do, and they throw on a CMP tie. I'm going to allow this to go through, but it's only a surf. The opponent is going to have to throw again to get rid of us. The opponent makes a great catch, catching this Mud Bomb onto a Sandslash, but that still hits for super effective. Perhaps unfamiliar with the counts. They were obviously looking to catch a Sludge Bomb, but we threw the Mud Bomb. We take the Bulldoze, and now we are going to look to overfarm to the back-to-back surfs. This surf should be taking care of Sandslash if the opponent doesn't burn the final shield, which they don't. What does the opponent have in the back? If they come back in with that Mew, we're already at the move. They come back in with the Mew. They've got a move banked. I believe this is just a surf. We call the surf, and surf it is. Lapras survives. And now we are going to get rid of them with this surf, unless the opponent double shields. The opponent double shields. We come back in to Grime. I actually meant to go in with the rat. That was an absolute misclick. You hate to see it. So I'm doing my absolute best to give the opponent a wink on. However, they're running the double Sandslash, or Sandslash evolution line, or Sandshrew evolution line. I don't know what you want to call it, but they definitely are not going to appreciate these crunches. First one gets them low. They're going to only be at a Night Slash. The opponent doesn't even throw. We get rid of the Sandshrew, and we quick attack down and take that game. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see Lapras in the lead. I attempt to catch a surf on my own Lapras, and we do catch successfully. As always, when running an ABB team, you always want to look to swap to one of your B types to try and lure out that thing that you are double weak to. They do not come in with a fighter, instead they come in to a Shadow Hypno, and this is pretty problematic for our Grimer, so you love to see it here. Thunder Punch takes us out, but this is absolute farm town for the rat. They don't even build up to any potential focus blast. This is just an elemental punch. Even from a Shadow on Shadow, we tank that. No problem. The rat commits to the farm down, and now we are absolutely loaded, full of energy. We've got a crunch and a hyper fang good to go. They come in to Nidoqueen. We are going to be spamming out crunches, fishing for the defense shop. First crunch draws the shield. Can we outpace to the next crunch? No, we cannot, but this is just a Poison Fang. We will survive. Poison Fang gets us low, but Raticate is going to make one more crunch. Is the opponent willing to give up that final shield? No, they're not. We switch out into Grimer. I look to overfarm just before they get to even a Poison Fang. Now we are going to throw the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb will knock out unless the opponent shields. They let it go, and back out comes the Lapras. We've got 2 shields. I am going for a bait. I've got no idea why. I could just double Sludge Bomb, but either way, the opponent shields it up. we're going to shield absolutely everything, and Sludge Bomb is going to be all she wrote. So you know what time it is. Hi Lapras, bye Lapras, GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see the fighter in the lead. This is absolutely where you want to see it. The opponent might think we are our little Alolan cousin, but we absolutely are not. The opponent throws the cross chop. That, my friend, is resisted, but let's not kid ourselves. It does still do reasonable damage. We're going to overfarm just before they get to cross chop. Number 2, fire off the Mud Bomb. Hopefully now we've seen the fighter in the lead. They haven't got another fighter. They come in 2 Grimer. I attempted to make the Sludge Bomb. I was unsuccessful, but either way, we really want Lapras on this Pidgeot. We throw on CMP. The opponent goes straight for the bird, and we've already hit the surf. The opponent is going to be forced to return that shield. If they want to keep Pidgeot alive, they do not, and it is now Hypno in the back. I'm staying in for no reason other than a bit of a BM. The opponent might think Hypno is sitting in a great spot, up 2 shields. We show him the rat. This is where you should be reaching for that top left, especially if you haven't built up to the Focus Blast. The Elemental Punch does pretty much nothing. We've still got a shield as well. The opponent is throwing one more punch, and I'm still not going to shield. Mr. Opponent, would you like to quit? Hello? No, that's fine. We'll fire off the back-to-back crunches. First crunch draws the shield from Hypno. We get the unnecessary defense drop, and Raticate is going to clean up this game. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle. We see Dugong in the lead, one of the bulkiest mon in the lead. However, Shadow Poison Jabs are absolutely nothing to be laughed about. We switch out into Lapras, attempting to catch the Icy Wind, and we are hard countered with a Machamp, but the ABB trap is working as intended. Even better for me, the opponent shields up a Surf, and they fire off a cross chop. Pretty much immediately, we obviously are going to allow Lapras to go down, and it is time to come back in with the Grimer. I'm going to overfarm just a touch and then go for this Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb should be securing the knockout on the Machamp, and that it does. Back out comes the Dugong. Icy Wind will not KO. I'm going to tank this and switch out into the Rat. We bank the Sludge Bomb, and here comes Raticate. They have a Rat of their own, so we're in the Rat mirror. It is the Shadow Rat versus another man of culture, also running the Shadow Rat. We land the Hyper Fang. The opponent probably is going to bait me with a crunch, but either way, I am going to shield up and commit to the quick attack farm down, and we will leave with a whole bucket load of energy. The Rat is pretty loaded. Let's see if the Raticate can pull this game off. We fire a crunch at the Dugong. We get the defense drop at this stage now. I could shield up and fire another crunch, but when you build your first ever level 50 Pokemon, you already know that it needs to get some fucking use. This little motherfucker cost me 700,000, so Sludge Bomb is enough to take that game. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we pick up a lead against Alolan Sandslash. We could hit him for super effective with the Mud Bomb. However, I choose to try and catch an Ice Punch on Lapras. The opponent smartly does not throw. They fire off a Bulldoze, dumping their energy, and come in with Hypno. Once again, it looks like there is no fight, and we draw a shield with the Surf. It looks like the opponent is going for the Confusion farm down, but Lapras isn't done, makes one more Surf. We've got this Hypno down now into the yellow, and for some reason on 1 HP, the opponent dumps some energy. Absolute dream case scenario for myself. I'm now going to come in with the Rat, and it is time once again to commit to the quick attack farm down. Elemental Punch does pretty much sweet fuck all, and the Rat is going to farm down. We will have to take one more Elemental Punch. That Hypno was absolutely loaded, but either way, we now are pretty loaded ourselves. The opponent aggressively swaps out, bringing in the third, which is Nidoqueen. We land the crunch. We're already at the Mud Bomb. Does the opponent want to burn the final shield? No, they do not. They completely sack the Nidoqueen. Back out comes Hypno. That gets Poison Jab down. Now it is time for Sandslash in the back. Can we pull this game off? We're going straight for the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb draws the opponent's final shield. We've still got 2 shields, so I'm just going to have to start shielding up. Ice Punches. Ice Punch would knock me out from this range, as despite being level 50, I am still made of absolute paper. Will non-stab Mud Bomb be enough to knock out? No, it's not, but we should be able to resist it. Poison Jab down, and we take that game. Moving on to the next battle. We see a Charmer in the lead, and for some absolutely strange reason, the opponent is staying in, and they get completely Poison Jab down. It looks like this opponent is a Resident Spice Lord. They come in To a Slowbro, I chip it with a Mud Bomb and make a dip into Lapras. Obviously, Lapras doesn't have the best matchup here. However, I don't want to get confusion down, so we are going to start spamming out resisted surfs. Once again, the opponent smartly no shields. I am also not going to shield this up. Psychic lands for big damage. They now switch out into a Lapras. They could take me out with a Surf, but it looks like the opponent isn't going to throw, so we are going to chip him now with a Skull Bash. Skull Bash still doesn't draw a shield from the opponent, and now with our raised defense, the opponent is going to have to dump some energy. They're hanging on to 2 shields, and to be honest, I've got no idea what they intend to do with them. We come in to the Rat to soak the first charge move. They go for a Surf. It doesn't do too much damage. I myself have 2 shields, so I'm going to start shielding this up, and I'm going to look to really aggressively quick attack down this Lapras. Can we quick attack them down? No, we cannot, so I'm just going to sack the Grimer. We are absolutely loaded, but I've got no use for Grimer now. Sorry, buddy. The opponent comes in to the Slowbro. They would get quick attack down and concede the match. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle. We've got a Party Hat Raichu. Really? Party Hat? I absolutely hate costume Pokemon. Mud Bomb would hit for super effective. The opponent shields it up. I am going to respect the potential Wild Charge, and they throw the Wild Charge. They now dip out into Alolan Marowak. So I look to catch the charge move on my Rat. Absolutely everything in this game is going right. The opponent throws a Bone Club. Rat has a really dominant matchup here. The opponent is going to be spamming out Bone Clubs, but they are pretty much in crunch range. We tank one more Bone Club. I'm going to look to overfarm just a touch and fire off this crunch. Does the opponent want to commit the final shield? Yes, they do. At this stage now, Bone Club probably would take me out. However, I don't want to shield and get Volt Switch down by that Raichu. We allow ourselves to go down, and now we come in really aggressively with the Lapras. We can tank any one move. They haven't built up to a Fire Blast. They go for the Shadow Bone. That doesn't do too much damage. I am looking to overfarm. This Surf will be enough to take care of Marowak, and if Raichu should return, we're only 1 eye shard away from the Surf. I see the Raichu come in, and we combo play into Grimer. We take out the Raichu, and in the back is a Hypno. This is going to look very not promising. Our Lapras is super low. I need to make the Skull Bash. Do we make it? We do not, and we lose that game. Perhaps aggressively switching in and out always isn't the play, but you live and you learn. Moving on to the next battle. We see Alolan Marowak in the lead. I tank the Bone Club. They're on Hex and Bone Club. Definitely not a moveset I would recommend. They shield up the Mud Bomb, and at this stage now I'm going to look to catch the next Bone Club on my own Lapras. This isn't going to do too much damage as Bone Club is absolutely garbage. The opponent now comes into Hitmonchan, so we have drawn out the fighter. However, our Grimer is pretty low. Hitmonchan shields up the Surf. The opponent is down 2 shields. We've got our low health Grimer that is going to need to take care of this Hitmonchan, and hopefully Raticate can clean up this battle. I am going to shield up whatever they throw, even if they power up Punch Bait me, which they don't. I need to get rid of this Hitmonchan because Raticate doesn't fancy the double super effective counters from this Hitmonchan. Down goes Hitmonchan. In the back is a Lapras. We've still got a shield. Raticate is going to look to close out this game. We aren't going to shield the first move. Surf lands for decent damage. However, the big fat rat has reasonable bulk. Looking at it, that big fat belly does soak up quite a lot of damage. We land the first crunch. Now, I am going to shield this up. We already know that Alolan Marowak is energy dry, so just need to overfarm to a stage where I can outpace him. This crunch will be taking care of the Lapras, but is the Alolan Marowak in crunch range? They come in, they fire the third Hex at the Bone Club. Now I need this to knock out, but is crunch going to be enough? Yes, it is, and Raticate cleans up another match in style. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see another Dugong in the lead. Once again, I look to catch the Icy Wind on my Lapras, and that is another fantastic catch, if I do say so myself. The opponent has debuffed us and switch out into Hypno, so once again, it looks like no fighter on the team. This debuffed Surf isn't going to do too much damage, but the opponent does throw immediately, which is great for us. Thunder Punch will not care. I'm hoping to make one more Surf before we get confusion down, and we do make the second Surf. This should put the Hypno into a quick attack farm down range. You can see even debuffed Shadow Lapras, absolute fucking monster. However, on the flip side, we haven't really got too much farm on this Hypno. We take one Thunder Punch, and now we do commit to the quick attack farm down. In the back is a Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen isn't a great matchup for the rat, as obviously a debuff Pokemon, they're just going to keep lowering my defense. We will survive this Poison Fang, and I'm really hoping I can make one more crunch. I'm actually looking to switch. The opponent isn't switching out, so we are going to fire off a Mud Bomb, looking to draw a shield from the opponent. The opponent lets it go, and now the opponent is going to be in a bit of a tricky spot, because the poison jabs do keep pace with the ice shards, and we are going to be spamming out mud bombs. The opponent is now forced to shield up absolutely everything, and in return, I'm also looking to shield. We shield up the icy wind. I am going to go once again for a mud bomb, but after building up to the sludge bomb, does the opponent respect this move, or are they going to call the bait? The opponent does shield it up. Can we make one more mud bomb? No, we cannot. Can we make the crunch? We are going to shield up the icy wind. Raticate is a couple of quick attacks away. 1, 2, we survive the ice shards, and crunch is going to be enough once again to seal the deal. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see the fighter once again in the lead. They say switch into Snorlax. I am going to bank a boatload of energy and switch out into Raticate. And to be honest, that was probably somewhat of a misplay. Superpower is double super effective. We correctly shield up a superpower, and now we fire off on a CMP. If the opponent doesn't shield this up, it will knock out. The opponent does choose to shield, and now I am in somewhat of a tricky spot. Debuffed superpower hopefully doesn't KO. Does it knock out? No, it does not. We make another crunch. Is the opponent willing to go down? 2 shields. No, they are not. Raticate just about hangs on, and we retain switch advantage. You absolutely love to see it. And in the back is a Lapras. So I am going to obviously come in to the Lapras mirror, and we should be sitting in a pretty sweet spot. The opponent is ahead in energy. We get some lag as well. You absolutely hate to see it. I've got no idea if the opponent got any extra quick moves in. We allow the Skull Bash to go through, and we are going to be firing off a Skull Bash of our own with the raised defense. Is the Lapras willing to commit a shield? No, they are not. As if this mirror match wasn't boring enough, we are now sitting in a situation where these ice shards, which are double resisted, are doing even less damage. The opponent once again fires off a Skull Bash. We are going to look to over farm. I am going for a mud bomb. Mud bomb should be enough to knock out from this range, which it is. Back out comes Hitmonchan. We just got to reach the back-to-back mud bombs. First mud bomb will be drawing a shield from the Hitmonchan, and the second one is going to be enough to take this game. Grimer finally repaying its huge investment. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see Electrode in the lead. Once again, that ground type coverage is going to come in clutch. We're going straight for the mud bomb. Is the opponent willing to shield it up? No, they do not. It lands and near one shots. I am going to shield this up in case they've got a fighter in the back. We really need to preserve our Grimer. I look to snipe with Raticate, and they now come in to a Kanto Muck. So we had a Grimer, the opponent has a Muck, and we're both getting some weak connection. You hate to see it. For some reason, since the game's updated, fast moves do seem to be a lot more consistent. However, this weak connection bullshit is absolutely everywhere. The opponent is going to fire off a Thunder Punch. The big fat rat tanks that absolutely no problems, and we make one more crunch. Is the opponent finally going to give me a shield? Let's find out. The opponent does shield up the crunch. Quick attacks are really chunking. The Muck survives on 1 HP, and a dream. We come into Grimer, and in the back is Hypno. This is going to get somewhat dicey. Not only is this not the best matchup, we also can't afford to burn our final shield, as that Kanto Muck did exit with a move. I'm really hoping the opponent puts up a shield here, which they do. I'm looking like I will not make the Skull Bash. We are going to chip him with another Surf. We need to get him into 1 poison jab range. The opponent is looking to commit to the farm down there. 1 confusion away from the next move. I really need that poison jab to knock out. I'm really hoping they're not at the back-to-back, but they are. The Hypno does survive. I'm forced to burn my final shield. I'm really hoping my counting was wrong and that the Muck doesn't have a move, but it does. And we're 1 poison jab away from the Mud Bomb. But absolutely beautifully played from the opponent. GG's. Moving on to the next one. We see a channel favourite, Dragonair, in the lead. The Dragon Breath is absolutely shredding us. We come in to our soft counter of Raticate, and the opponent answers with a Alolan Marowak. Not a bad matchup for us. We go straight for the Hyper Fang. It lands for big damage. The opponent hopefully isn't on Sludge Wave. I'm hoping this is just an Acid Spray, which it is. The quick attacks are really chunking. Can we quick attack down? No, we cannot. So I am going to fire for Crunch, hoping to draw a shield from the opponent, but the opponent lets it go. We can now realign our Pokemon. We can get Lapras onto that Dragonair, which is exactly what you want to see. We come straight in with the Dragonair. We don't wait our switch time. We want to get off as much damage as possible. We shield up the Dragon Pulse. The opponent now switches out into Hypno. Hypno with 2 shields is going to be a big problem. I choose to just sack the little Grimer. Thunder Punch doesn't take us out. I'm looking to go straight for the Sludge Bomb, but I don't think I'll make 2 moves. Sludge Bomb should be drawing a shield from the opponent, which it does. And we now get Confusion down. We're still not out of the waters yet. We are at a Surf, so I'm going to fire this off immediately. The opponent shields it up once again. I go for the extra. The game is working as intended. I am going to shield up this next Thunder Punch. I am being mindful of the catch. I see the confusion. We're using a free turn move. The opponent cannot switch out. Surf doesn't knock out. Can we Ice Shard down? Yes, we can. Back out comes the Dragonair. I fire 1 Ice Shard. They're now in Surf range, and Surf should be enough to clean up this battle. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle. We see a Snarlmuck versus Alolan Grimer. I look to catch the Dark Pulse on the Raticate, and a beautiful catch once again, but let's see if we are hard punished with a counter use. And to my surprise, we actually see Venusaur. Venusaur isn't something you see too commonly in a meta full of Hypno and Nidoqueen, but either way, pretty good response to our Raticate. We allow Raticate to go down. We come back in to Grimer, and I'm going to fire off a Sludge Bomb just before they get to a Frenzy Plant. Is Sludge Bomb enough to knock out? The opponent actually shields it up, which is a bit puzzling. I am going to return the shield, as Frenzy Plant is an absolutely busted move. They're now pretty much in Mud Bomb range, so I'm going to fire off this Mud Bomb. They are over farm, and I'm getting very close to the next Frenzy Plant. Mud Bomb does take out the Venusaur. Let's see what the opponent wants to do. The opponent is waiting out the timer. Back out comes Mach, so I am going to fire off a super effective Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb lands. It doesn't quite knock out. We sneak a Poison Jab. I've got a decision to make. Do I think there's a fighter in the back? I've got no idea, but we are going to look to Poison Jab down. It's 2 versus 1, and in the back is a Graveler. Not fantastic. We fire off the Mud Bomb. I'm going to look to catch the Rock Blast on my Lapras. Rock Blast will not KO. I'm really hoping I make a Surf, but I know I'm going to get outpaced, and it's going to be whether Grimer can survive the Volt switches. Rock Blast is going to KO from this range. I'm really hoping to make the Mud Bomb, but we get Volt Switch down and we lose that battle. So those were the games with Shadow Grimer and the 2 tanks. I went pretty positive. Overall, really fun team. Not the most accessible. I don't think too many people are using level 50 Pokemon. However, if you have access to them, I'd highly recommend Grimer over the stupid Chansey, because that Pokemon is boring as fuck. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button, leave a comment down below. I'd just like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.